Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unravel the mysteries behind corporate filings, and that latest report might just have a hidden treasure or maybe a hidden hole. Ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes when a company starts a big project and needs serious cash guarantees? Well, today we are diving into Perpetua Resources Corp, its latest report, and let me tell you, it is all about securing the bag, or in this case, a very large bond for their Stibnite Gold project. Before we get into the thick of it, if you love getting straight answers from these dense corporate documents, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And hey, we've got a fantastic community over on Discord, link down below, where we break down these things even further. So what is the big news here? Perpetua Resources Corp is gearing up for construction on their Stibnite Gold project, and to do that, they've had to put up some serious financial assurances. Think of it like a huge security deposit to make sure they actually finish the job and clean things up afterward. This report walks us through the complex web of agreements they've put in place to satisfy the US Forest Service, the Idaho Department of Lands, and the US Army Corps of Engineers. It sounds complicated, and honestly it is, but it all boils down to one thing: proving they have the money or the backing to handle the project's risks. The key event here is getting the green light for construction, but you can't just get that light without showing you have what it takes financially. They needed to post financial assurance bonds, which are basically guarantees that the work will be done and the environment protected. Failure to meet these obligations could mean whoever is holding the bond gets to cash it in. And that is a lot of money. Now, let's talk about the main event, the surety bond. On the 17th of October 2025, Perpetua Resources entered into a massive reclamation performance bond. This bond is for a staggering $139,024,637. This isn't just any bond, it is a joint effort, meaning it is in favor of both the US Forest Service and the state of Idaho through the Idaho Department of Lands. This bond ensures that all reclamation obligations for the construction phase of the project are covered. It stays in place until the project is fully reclaimed or until they can replace it with different financial assurances. If Perpetua messes up and can't meet their reclamation duties, the surety company Endurance Assurance Corporation, which is part of Sompo International, could be on the hook for that huge amount. But don't worry about Endurance too much, because Perpetua has signed an indemnity agreement, meaning if the surety has to pay out, Perpetua is responsible for reimbursing them every single penny, plus any costs and fees. This indemnity agreement is where things get really interesting. It lays out what Perpetua has to do to keep the surety happy so they don't have to pay out on that $139 million bond. They have to maintain at least $200 million in cash and marketable securities. That is a huge amount of liquid money. Also, they cannot increase the estimated reclamation costs for any land disturbance at the project site beyond $35 million without the surety's permission. If they violate these rules, or if a claim is made against the bond, or if their cash reserves dip too low, the surety can demand collateral equal to 125% of the total bond amount. That is an extra 25% on top of the original $139 million, so the company and any other guarantors are equally responsible for all these obligations. The absolute maximum they could owe is that full $139 million plus all the related costs and legal fees. Right now, this liability is just potential, but if something goes wrong, it becomes a direct legal obligation. So how do they back up this massive surety bond? They've got a credit facility with the Bank of Nova Scotia. On the 15th of October 2025, the bank stepped in and issued an irrevocable standby letter of credit for up to $35 million. This letter of credit is essentially a promise from the bank to pay the surety if Perpetua fails to do so. It is like the bank is saying, we have your back, surety company, if Perpetua doesn't. This letter of credit is secured by a deposit of $40.5 million in cash. The credit facility itself has a 1% annual fee and comes with all the usual strings attached, like reporting requirements and conditions that could lead the bank to demand their money back faster if things go south. Now, for some exciting news, on the 21st of October 2025, after posting all these financial assurances, Perpetua got the official word. The US Forest Service signed off on their plan of operations, and the Idaho Department of Lands also gave them the go-ahead. This means they can finally start construction on the Stibnite Gold project. They're already kicking off early works. The plan is to eventually replace these current arrangements with different non-cash financial assurances once they finalize their full financing. And that is not all. They also had to post a separate $4.2 million letter of credit with the US Army Corps of Engineers for off-site mitigation work, required by the Clean Water Act. Before we wrap up, there is always a cautionary statement from companies like this. They're reminding investors that forward-looking statements, like their expected replacement of financial assurance arrangements, are based on assumptions and involve risks. the actual results could be very different. So, while they're optimistic about starting construction, there are always unknowns. They encourage people to check out their filings with the SEC and Canadian securities regulators for more details on those risks. And finally, the report is signed by Mark Murchison, the Chief Financial Officer, on the 21st of October 2025. So, what is the big picture here? Perpetua Resources is taking a massive step forward with their Stibnite Gold project, but it comes with a hefty price tag in terms of financial guarantees. They've managed to secure $139 million in surety bonds, which is a direct reflection of the scale and potential environmental responsibilities associated with a project of this magnitude. The company is essentially betting its future on fulfilling these obligations. And they've put up significant cash and entered into strict indemnity agreements to prove their commitment. The $200 million liquidity requirement is a clear sign that investors and regulators want to see a company with deep pockets or a very strong financial backing, especially given the inherent risks in mining. The success of this project hinges not just on extracting gold, but on managing these complex financial relationships and meeting stringent environmental standards. The company's ability to replace these cash-backed arrangements with other forms of assurance will be a key development to watch, as it could signal improved financial health or potentially a shift in strategy. For now, though, they've cleared a major hurdle and can get boots on the ground. This filing shows a company playing a high-stakes game. They're demonstrating they understand the gravity of the financial responsibilities, but also highlight the pressure they're under to maintain that financial strength. The risks are real, with the potential for massive financial fallout if things go wrong, but the opportunity is also significant if they can bring this project to fruition responsibly. Alright, that is our deep dive into Perpetua Resources Corp.'s latest filing. What is your take on these financial assurances and the company's direction? Do you think they have what it takes to manage these massive obligations? Let us know in the comments below if this breakdown was helpful. Give this video a thumbs up to support the channel and be sure to subscribe for more corporate decoding. And don't forget, our Discord community is the place to be for even more in-depth discussions. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.